Hey guys, it's Marc-Andre. We're standing right here at the base of Mount Fernie Hiking Trail, Provincial Park. And I decided this location to film my first ever YouTube videos and bring you guys along the journey and my hiking trail. So hopefully you like it. As you can tell, I mismanaged my shirt. Starting my videos, I started sweating like crazy, and then I decided to film it, and it looked ridiculous. So I was hoping it would dry off on my backpack on the way up, but ended up losing it. And I decided to not go back and get it. So maybe doing videos shirtless is my new niche. We'll see. Either way, follow me. We're going to talk about the 4 agreements. Hello everyone, it's Marc-Andre. Welcome to The Grateful Addict, your go-to sobriety-focused YouTube channel, where my goal is to change your mindsets, promote healing, and recovery. Today, we're going to dive into a powerful book that's literally helped millions, including myself. When I first started my journey in treatment, I read The 4 Agreements by Miguel, and it's literally become my Bible. That's why I need to make this my very first YouTube video ever and share this book with the entire world. My hope is that by making this quick video of a summary of the 4 agreements, that it can potentially help someone who's actually struggling right now with addiction, or potentially someone that's been impacted by someone else's addiction, and hopefully break free from negative thought patterns and behaviors. Don Miguel teaches us that we live in a dream state, a collective belief system shaped by our upbringing, society, and personal life experiences. Addictions, in many ways, is a coping mechanism for surviving that dream. But what if you could rewrite it? By making these 4 simple but very powerful agreements with yourselves, you begin to break free from these negative thought patterns, including addictive ones, and reclaim your own personal freedom. First agreement is be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. This is the most important and most difficult agreement, especially for those in addiction. Don Miguel tells a story of a little girl singing joyfully until her mother, overwhelmed with stress, snaps and says, "Stop singing. You have an ugly voice." The girl never sings again. That's the power of a word. It can plant a seed that grows into shame, silence, even self-destruction. Where the little girl believed that negative comment, making it her identity for the rest of her life, essentially extinguishing her inner flame. That is the power of your word, the power that words might potentially have on people around us. Now imagine replacing that with words of encouragement or words of kindness. Just imagine the positive influence you could cause potentially. That is how we need to live. Addicts often carry words like, "I'm a failure, I am weak, I'll never change." And for the worse, they say these things to themselves over and over again, spiraling deeper into negative thought patterns. To be impeccable with your word is to stop that self-abuse, replace it with truth, with kindness. Try saying, "I'm healing, I am learning to love myself again." Speak truth breaks the spell of addiction. The second agreement is don't take things personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality. When we're hurt by others, especially as children, we take that pain as proof that something is wrong with us. Don Miguel shares a key insight. When someone insults you, it's like they're handing you poison. You can choose not to drink it. In addiction, many drink that poison daily, not just alcohol or substances, but the emotional poison of rejection, criticism, and abandonment. For example, someone may say, "You're just like your father," or "You'll never be anything." It hurts deeply, and we take it as truth. But the agreement here is radical. That wasn't about you. It was about them, their pain, their projections. Realizing this creates emotional distance. You stop needing to numb that pain with addiction because you stopped accepting it as yours. Let that sink in. Their pain is not yours to carry. When you stop taking things personally, you start healing the wounds that addiction tries to numb. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can.
Assumptions are one of the root causes of suffering, and addiction thrives in unspoken fears. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask for what you want. You have the right to do so. People have the right to say yes or no. It's that simple. Miguel gives us an example. A man assumes his partner is cheating. He becomes cold, distant, even abusive, all without asking a single question. The relationship falls apart, but it was his assumptions, not reality, that caused it. In addiction, assumptions sound like no one would understand. If I asked for help, I'd be judged. I'm alone. These silent stories keep people trapped, but the truth is, healing happens through connection and truth, not assumptions. Be accountable. Do the uncomfortable. Don't assume the outcome. Usually, if you do these first two things, the outcome usually turns out better than you could have ever expected. Replacing assumptions with communication is like switching on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you realize you're not alone, and that makes all the difference. The fourth and final agreement is always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. This agreement is the most compassionate. The author says, doing your best means showing up, whatever that looks like today. In addiction recovery, some days your best is going to a meeting. Other days, your best is getting out of bed. And sometimes your best is just not giving up. He tells us that when you do your best, you avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. This doesn't mean perfection. It means presence. When you know you gave what you could that day, you can sleep at peace. And from that place of peace, real transformation becomes possible. The Four Agreements isn't just about being a better person. It's about waking up from the false belief that keeps us stuck. Addiction thrives on self-judgment, silence, and shame. But freedom begins with awareness. And with these Four Agreements, you start to rewrite your story. Not with force, but with love. So if you're on the path to recovery or supporting someone who is, let this book be your guide. Not just for the mind, but for the soul.
When I came out publicly about my addiction, I assumed the worst. But that's not what happened. To my surprise, I was totally embraced and supported. I knew I was doing the right thing, doing the uncomfortable. I was choosing to no longer live a lie with anyone ever. People from all over reached out with positive words and stories. The ones who had negative comments or opinions about my decisions were not meant to be my real friends. That is on them. I won't take things personally. The power of my word helped me understand the greater picture. The final step of the 12-step program is to help others still struggling with addiction. I guess my journey started backwards and forward because of my decision to put myself out there all over the internet. At that moment, I was truly doing my best. And I now know that is all I can do.
Now, if this message resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, you are not broken, you are becoming. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep growing.
By following these 4 simple but powerful agreements in this novel, Don Miguel explains that we basically live in a dream state where that is. Don Miguel basically explains that we live in a sort of a dream state where it is where it is shaped. What's the big picture, you ask? Your go-to sobriety focused YouTube channel. Sobriety focus. Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Marc Andre. Fuck you. Hello everyone, it's Marc Andre. Welcome to the Grateful Addict, your sobriety focused YouTube channel, where my goal is to fuck off. Hello everyone, it's Marc Andre. Welcome to the Grateful Addict, your go-to sobriety movement focus